Hello, it's Rita here with Benji. He's the quiet one here with a cricket chat for Miss Rita. What? Tongue tied. How is everybody today? Let's see. No, I'm just going to say my hellos. So we're nearing towards the 4th of July holiday. There's Janice. Hi, Janice. There's Bren. Hi, Susan. Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Pat, Sherry. Hi, Leslie and Robin. Well, it's really Robin's Nestcraft. Deborah. Good morning to all of my friends that are here. Today, we're going to be doing a 4th of July project. And I have I have a lot of detail in this project that I want to show you. So I'm going to just kind of jump right in, but I do have a couple of announcements about giveaways. So stay tuned for those giveaway announcements. There's actually quite a few of them, and I'll do it sort of halfway through, maybe when we're waiting for the rhinestone fix maker to heat up. So today we are going to do a project that actually sort of fell into last year, and I really don't feel like I gave it enough promotion, and that is this really fun, although time consuming, banner. So this is a happy 4th of July banner. Last year I did this one. I have to hold it up to you. So this one I did, it was just said celebrate the 4th with 4th underneath. And as I was doing it, and you see here, I used like a shimmer vinyl because I did this with smart vinyl, part of this with smart vinyl. So today we're going to actually be using smart vinyl. We're going to be using a couple of pens. We need at least a red and some sort of blue. We need glue. We need some sort of ribbon. We'll talk about ribbon a little bit. And then Hotfix applicator, which I have put a link in Amazon to one of the ones that they have. They have a bunch. And if you're in the market for a Hotfix, they're called Fix Rhinestones, and we can talk about it a little bit more as we get into it. But they are used. They have glue on the other end. The rhinestone has glue on the other end, and you heat up the actual outside of the rhinestone, melts the glue, and then adheres it to whatever it's going to go on. Well, last year I was in a hot fix rhinestone phase. That's a rabbit hole I went down, and I thought, well, wonder if you can do hot fix rhinestones on paper, and indeed you could. And I have the banner to prove it. My Hotfix rhinestones are all stuck on there. So that's part of this project. So let me tell you a little bit about this project from Design Space. So this I put happy 4th of July. I did list the Design Space file in my YouTube, or actually in the description of the YouTube, but I will also do it in Patreon. This I found in Design Space so easily. You're going to go to images and you go to image sets. And then once you go to image sets, type in the word banner. When you do that, you find all these lovely banners. Here's a mermaid banner. I think we should do that for next month. Maybe we can do like a pool party or something, like a mermaid. I think that's really cute. All right. And you see there's all kinds of banners here. There's this beautiful strawberry one that I really like. Remember, we did the Easter egg and all of that. I did this one for my mom. So this is the one that I want to focus on. It's called the 4th of July banner. And the thing I like about this is that in addition to all the letters of the alphabet. You do also get some, first you get the TH, so that it doesn't, you don't have to put big T and big H, and you don't have to arrange for that. I've had to do that with other things. And then there's also numbers and what an exclamation point, and so punctuation and numbers and letters. So you can do whatever you want as far as letters go. You can just choose the letters you want. Obviously I chose H, and let's just put H in there, and then I went down happy 4th of July, so HA. And then P, I don't need two P's. I can just double it when I get back. And let's HAPPY. And we need the number 4 and the TH. And now we need of, OF. And I'm getting ahead of myself. Oh, there's JU. And we already have the Y, right? So we don't need to do, and do we want an exclamation point? Yeah, okay, let's choose that. And then we add them all to our canvas. I'm going to move this one and hide it actually. And they all come into Design Space. Takes a little while, but what I would suggest is that you have all your letters come in, do your duplicates and everything, and then corral them all together by doing an alignment center, and then think about your size. Okay, so this is taking a really long time, but let's just talk about size. So last year, when I did this, I made the banners 4 inches, and they're really a good size here. But I kind of wanted to be a little more bold for this year. And so I made a few changes. What I did was I substituted that powder blue with a really dark, like navy blue. This I did with Smart Materials. And so I wanted to do that. The other thing I wanted to do was make it bigger. So here is how big they are. Let me just show you comparison from last year to this year. Okay. So this was last year. So I think that was like 4 inches. And then this one is I don't know, like 5. I think it's 5. Anyway, to get to the 5 inches and have all of them be together, here's what I do. I just go and I start I make sure I have all my letters. So there's JUL, and there's the P. Whoops. Come on, P for happy. And there is HA. So we need to duplicate the P. So I'm going to go up here to duplicate so that we have another P. And let me make this smaller so you can see everything. Oh, I have 2 Fs. I do not need 2 Fs. I duplicated the wrong thing. So I need to click on that P and duplicate. And there it is, HAPP. And there's the 4th of July. Oh, we need a Y, another Y. So let's duplicate that one. Okay. So there is what we're going to do. Happy 4th of July. But it's deceiving when you're looking at the project on the screen. I mean, I have a big screen, and so it shows these are like about 4 inches wide, which is a good size. But if I wanted to really go big, so I wanted to change it to like 5, 6 inches. And let me show you how I did that. First, I selected all of the banners. You need to have all of them in there, and then do align center. Now they're all here in a stack. And what you can do is you can group it if you want. You don't have to, but I like to do it so that I know that the change that I'm going to make next is going to go through everything. Okay. So up here is the size, width, and the height. And we can just go ahead and type in, whatever size we want. Let's choose 6 inches. Okay. So now our all of our banners, let's ungroup it. All of our banners are 6 inches. Now the individual letters are made up of 3 layers. I'm going to take you through them. So let's look at this one. Ooh, there's a lot of things. All right, let's look at this one. So we will ungroup this one. Let me just move down so you can see it a little bit. All right, so let's go up here and ungroup and take this apart so you can see what this consists of. So it's got a white layer on the front that has a lot of writing on it. Not only does it have all these stripes, but it has all these fireworks and stars. That is going to take a long time to prepare in your machine. Just keep that in mind. Don't be trying to create this a half hour before all your barbecue guests show up. Okay. And then here is, oh, wait a second. This is different. Oh my gosh. They must have updated this. Wow. Okay. So this is really interesting because these letters that I got here have been updated. Let's go ahead and look at the old one because that's the one that I gave to you. So this actually, those are good changes. So let me just go back to the grouping that I had here. All right. So we'll keep this one open over here. So we'll ungroup. We'll take a look at one of these letters. Here is the TH. Ungroup that. And this is the way that it's set up, which I have to tell you this is a really good change because here's our 3 layers. The red's no problem. The white, it's not a problem, but it takes a long time to do. But the blue with the letters is very, it's very difficult to think about doing that in paper. So what I did was I did this in smart material. So I'm going to have to do this over again and give you the updated version of it. But the one I'm showing you today is not the updated one. So I'm going to show you this one, but then we'll have to go back and recreate this one. So this one here, is this the one? No, why is it that one of the letters was, that is so weird. Anyway, we're going to just proceed as if it's like this. There's 3 layers. There's a red layer. I'm going to use red cardstock. There's a white layer, and I'm going to use white cardstock. And because these are fairly big, so let me just get rid of this because it didn't prove my point. Because these are fairly big, let's go ahead and make it so you can see what happens. So it does require that you use either a lot of 8.5 by 11, or in this case, I would use 12 by 12 inch paper. Okay. So you're going to need 4 sheets of white 12 by 12 solid white, and you'll need 4 sheets of red, solid red. Or if you want to do something else, for instance, if you wanted to do like a pattern paper with the pattern facing, I don't know if it's double-sided, but the pattern you like facing out. So if somebody sees the back of the banner, it's still lovely. But who looks at the back of the banner? Anyway, so you're going to need 4 sheets of that. And then when you get to the letters and numbers with the little banner around it, we're going to do this on smart vinyl. Now, I could have done HTV, and I will show you how to do HTV on paper in a future program, but I want to talk about layering vinyl on top of paper. And we had this discussion on Saturday night at our Zoom call about how some people are afraid of applying vinyl on their paper. And I wanted to show you this method that I use. There are a lot of different methods, but this one it's good if you have shaky hands like me. Anyway, so I'm going to do this on smart vinyl. So I need to change the material type to without the matte. When I do that, you'll notice that it puts the material, all of them here. Okay. Now, this is 40 inches long. I know that because it says right here. But let me show you this. So this is vinyl that I purchased, smart vinyl that I purchased from Cricut. And it is 3 feet long. Oh, when I got it, I'm like, 3 feet, that seems like a good amount to have. Well, what's 3 feet? 12 inches times 3 is 36. Well, my material size is 40. So luckily I have more than one roll of this, but I need to have it cut off at some point. So I'm going to change my material size here to, I'm going to just make it 30. When I do that, it is going to turn my one cut into 2 cuts. You see that? So that way I can use my smart material. Now, if you accidentally put in this 3 foot without thinking about it, it would spit it out and tell you it's too long. So you must do this, or you have to use vinyl that has a very you have a longer than 3 feet. Okay. Or the other alternative is to go back and change the size of your banner. But again, we're going big. So we're going to hit continue, and then we're going to cut this out. Now let's have a look at this red. Do you see how much red is in here? And then there's the blue. So halfway through, so when you first put the paper in, I'm going to show you. Let's go ahead and choose medium cardstock. Okay, I'm going to choose remember material settings, because I needed to remember for all the way until it gets down to number 9. Okay. And it says I need to load the very berry pen into clamp A. Well, this is back from when they would name the colors, and I think they still do. I think that they probably need to update some of these files, but so it says very berry. So what I chose was this, what's it called? Just simply extra fine point. What is it? Extra fine point 0.3 cardinal is the color. Okay. So I'm going to just move you over here so you can see what's going on, and we'll let this go because it is a very long process. And I just don't want to take all that time from our show. So I put in my mat with my paper. This is regular paper, cardstock. If you're looking for cardstock, Cricut does have the best cardstock, by the way. So I'm going to take my red pen and pop it in, close the clamp. Now, when you're doing a project that has pens, the pens always come first. So what do you do if there are multiple pens on your project, like in this one? Well, the machine knows, it will stop and ask to put in the blue pen. So that's what I will do. Okay. And then after this very long time, you can assemble all of your layers and all of your pieces. And that's where we're going to start now. Okay. So I'm going to move you down. Sorry. Okay. So this is what I ended up working with, or this is what I ended up coming up with that blue on there. And I'm going to show you how to put this together. I did a few ahead of time so that you can see, but I don't have all of them done. And we will work on trying to get all of them done, because I just now took my my flag off of the door so that I can put this on the door. So I need to get this done for tomorrow. I don't know, because I want to put it up for all of July. Okay. So here are 2 layers that are in paper. And we have to glue them together. And then here is the smart vinyl that I cut out each letter, and I have already put some transfer tape on this, and I'm going to show you how to adhere it. So the first thing we need to do is glue the white piece to the red piece. Make sure you get that inside piece too, because that's how they're achieving that striped banner look. All right. And to be honest, this is the way that I would do this. I would batch this all together, because when you cut these out, it's hard. You have to look and make sure that you have the correct letter. And let me show you this one. So this one, you have to kind of give it sort of like a bird's eye view, and you can see the H, you see? So that was a little bit wonky. There's the Y. Here's the O. So I would just go ahead and sort of start making sure you have all your letters here attached, all your two banners, the white and the red, attached to each other, you know. And here we go. One of the things I noticed about this design, and maybe they've changed it, I don't know, because again, I'm using my regular last year's file. Okay, so one of the things I noticed is the holes are not consistent, and they're quite tiny. So I am going to actually use a very thin, I usually use baker's twine, but this time I'm going to use this, which is a very thin, they used to have a name for this ribbon, but I actually got it at Michael's, obviously at Christmas, but you can use these colors all year long, so it was a good deal. I always buy that stuff. And then I have actually also threaded a needle. This is a larger needle point needle that will work with that. Okay, so we're just going through and we are making sure that our two colors are together. Then what we're going to do is match up the letter, and in this case it's Y, and so here's our Y. Here's our Y. All right, and we need a piece of transfer tape. Is that going to work? No, this one is going to work. Okay, so you need a very wide piece of transfer tape, because in addition to the Y, we're going to also be taking off this banner edge, I guess. And so we are taking off this. Oh, I see, Loretta. Thank you. So Loretta is saying in the comments that they have made changes to the banner. Curling ribbon. Thank you, Loretta. Although it won't curl because it is actually a grosgrain or a satin ribbon, but I know what you mean. The curling ribbon is like this, and you use a, gee, I don't know if anybody knows how to do that. Think about that. You use a pair of scissors to curl it. That would be a fun little project to do, making curling ribbon bows. It's not something related to cricket, but anyway. So here's what I'm doing. I am burnishing on the transfer tape. That's because I want to make it easy for it to come off. Okay. Now I usually do this way, where I take it off like this, and then I get my thing and I start putting it on. This is the trick that it's very similar. I think it's called the Hinge Method. Is we're going to actually create a little hinge over here, and we're going to take the backing that we just took off. We're going to kind of place it right here. And then with our transfer, we're going to try to line up. Let me do this correctly. We're going to try to line up as best we can on this edge. Now, this still can be a little imperfect until you get the hang of it. So I'm going to do it a couple of times so you can see what I'm doing. But then you can take away this backing and sort of start pressing down this. Okay. And there is the parchment method without the parchment. I believe it was it Gloria? No, it was somebody. I don't know if it was Gloria that was saying, oh, people need to understand the parchment method. So this is the parchment method without the parchment. I'm going to call it the transfer tape method. I think it's a hinge is where it works out well. Now, when you're taking off the transfer tape, be careful because sometimes you can, if you use the wrong kind of white paper, it can lift a little bit. Okay. So let's try that again. Here's our O. And where is my O? Oh, where are you? That's what we call my son these days. He always was O. When he was a baby, he was baby O. when he was older, he was Master O. And now that he's a teenager, we just call him O. It's not as if his name is really long, but my family has this thing about nicknames. Everybody's got a nickname, and we call each other that. And it's weird because nobody outside the family calls each other those names. I'm sure everybody has that sort of thing going on in their family. Some little like pet words and stuff, especially if you have animals, you know, they always seem to have more than one name, right? So that is the case with my family. So I have a sister named Teresa, and we call her Tree, or she's been known to be called Teresa Green. And what else? Well, I don't know. We just call her Teresa Green. And my sister Annette, which is a beautiful name, you know, and it's only like 2 syllables, is Nettie. First we called her Net, and then Nettie. So she's Nettie. And let's see. Oh, look at this. Look at what happened. My paper kind of lifted on this. So I'm going to go this way and see if I can salvage that. Ooh, I just got through saying that's karma biting me on the butt here. Because I just got through saying use good paper, and I did, and it happened. So this is bound to happen a little bit. So I lost a little tiny bit, but to be honest, when it's on your hanging up in your yard or on your door or anything, nobody's going to notice that. So I did a bad job. Here, I went off on a tangent, right? And then let's see. Let's do one more. What name? What letter is this? A, I think. Let's do the J because, yeah, let's do the. Is that the J? See how these are? That's the P. I think that's J. This is A. Y. Y. No, this looks like an M. Oh, is it the H? That's H. All right, let's do, which one do I already have transfer tape on? P. Let's do the P. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Now, this is, as I mentioned, this is a project. So this is not the kind of thing you're going to sit. This is like a nice afternoon. It's too hot outside, and you know you're having people over project, and you want to really like impress them, sort of thing. So this is the kind of thing you take a little bit of time with your grand and do all this up. And so here, I'll do this, another one here. And remove this, but instead of throwing this away, keep it. And that's not my P. That's an F. What am I doing here? There's the P. Okay, here we go. There's the P. Let's take this. And this is a little hard for me to demonstrate because normally I have my head straight over the image that where I'm applying the transfer tape, because it's kind of like, you know, when you bake and you look at a glass cup, and if you look at from the top, it looks different. The measurement looks different than it does from the side. And so that's kind of how I am. So it might be a little off center, you see. And if it is, and if that bothers you, you could always just sort of trim it. But honestly, it's not that big of a deal to me. So I'm going to leave it sort of that way. So now once I've gone ahead and I've cut out and written out and did all of these things, let's bling it out with a few things. One is ribbon. So I'll show you what I did with the ribbon. And then the other thing, which I thought was just so fabulous, is Hotfix Rhinestones. So Hotfix Rhinestones are kind of exactly what they are named. And let me show you. So I have a couple of options here for the rhinestones. So here is something I bought last year. I know a lot of you bought this, and it came with like a box of these rhinestones. But I also want to point out that if you want, you can buy something like this. I got this at Hobby Lobby for $16.99. It works on 3 AA batteries. I haven't tried it yet because I don't have any AA batteries. So there's that. The other option is you can buy sticky gems. So these are clear jewels, self-adhesive, and you can buy them in all different sizes. Look, this is small, this is large. So you don't have to run out and get yourself a Hotfix kit. However, if you do want a Hotfix kit, I have included the Amazon link to one of many Hotfix kits that are available. Usually I'm just going to switch out my blue pen. And usually they come with like these, and we can have a very long discussion about rhinestones, and we should, because what I've learned about them is that they come in multiple sizes, and the one that you want to use if you're doing just rhinestone, just like rhinestone fabric, like you're doing a pattern, like maybe you bought a pattern or use one of the patterns in Design Space. I think we need to do that. But anyway, the holes are different when you cut these patterns out. So in this case, you see there's 2 millimeter, and this one here, the 10, I think it's the 10 or the 5, but look at my dog chewed this. Okay. But here are almost all, but not quite all, of my Hotfix. Plus I've added these in here. So how do you know if it's a Hotfix? You know it's a Hotfix is if it has this usually light gray type of design. I don't know. Adhesive. That's actually, it's like it's a glue, but you have to use hot heat. That's why they call this Hotfix. And you have to use heat to attach it to wherever you're going to attach it to. So let's turn this on and I can show you how this works. Be very careful. It is very, very, very hot, and I don't want you to burn yourself. So let's have a look at what we've got here. I think it would be sort of cool to do maybe red. And so I have some red here. I think this is red. What? Be careful, because this is like glitter. and it gets all over the place. And those really tiny ones just sort of stick everywhere. But you can like sort of do that. Let's do that. Okay. And we'll spread them out so you can sort of see all the different sizes that they gave me here. Now that this came in my kit, so I'm able to have all different sizes. When you buy rhinestones, they usually come in a little plastic pouch, and you have to say what size. Okay. And let me just show you. Here is here are a couple examples of that. So these are rhinestones that I purchased. Ooh, look at, is that a blue? That looks blue. Maybe we should use it. This one looks kind of gold. And so it says SS10. That is the size that, generally speaking, most rhinestone patterns use. Okay. So just so that you can see on my little chart here, here's my rhinestone size chart. You can see there's, and it's funny because there's no 10, but there's SS6, SS12, maybe this, I don't know how these have rhyme or reason, but what I found out was it's best to buy the SS10. Okay. And then the next thing is the color, and then tells you how many in there. Can you believe there's 1,440 rhinestones in this little pack? And they probably cost me about $8 to $10 for this. So just so you know. And I did find some people selling on Etsy. So I want to point you to that if you're looking to buy just the individual rhinestones. But the kit, I'd say get the kit from Amazon. Use that link. I think make sure that you're going to get the $2 off or the extra 5%, whatever. So it's a good deal. It maybe costs like $15. Okay. So here we go. I know my thing is all heated up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, and I might need to use my little tweezers to grab one of these. And there we go. Now, as I'm sitting here thinking, you know what? I could have also used my pickup stick. Let me show you that one. So I could use this because it has like a little stickiness to it. So I can just go like this and move it into place like that. Isn't that cool? So all I'm doing is following the little fireworks here. And on this one, I think I'll just put red, or maybe I'll move it around. So here's a red one. Let's get that down. I haven't done this in a year. Can you tell? All right. And then we're going to take our Hotfix, and it's very, very hot. And we're going to sort of put it underneath there and hold and press for just a few seconds. Now, this is very, very hot. What it does is it heats up the stone, so that becomes hot. And the glue on the back of the stone melts. And then when it starts to unmelt, when it starts to cool, it will attach itself to the paper. How do you know how long to press on there? I've taken to doing it this way, where when I'm pressing, I'll show you something. When I'm pressing down, I can feel the glue turning liquid by just sort of moving it back and forth. And that's how I know. So we can do any of these. Again, this is one of those, takes a little while to complete, but oh my gosh, your end result is going to be fabulous. So it's worth it. Or, you know, you don't have to do it at all, but look at how cute that is. And let's go ahead and pick some more of the red. You know what? I'm going to do it this way. Oops. Oh, I'm going to do it this way because I like that method. So I've got a red one. I'm going to put this here. It's upside down. Let's give it a, it's turtled, as my son would call it. Okay, so while I continue to do this, I want to tell you a few announcements. The first one is today is the last day to get your name in for my June giveaways. Okay. So if you've been following me for a while, you know that I have giveaways every month. And I usually give away one big prize and a bunch of little prizes. I might change that for next month. Maybe do a couple of medium-sized prizes or something. I was thinking about that. And so anyway, you have to go through Rafflecopter, and today is the last day to get your name in. So if you haven't, or even if you have, you can go every single day and put your name in, and I will be picking and announcing the winners. I think I'm going to do it on Friday because it's Canada Day. I don't know. I just felt like it was kind of something fun to do for Canada Day. So there's announcement number one. Today's the last day. Also, as my friend Linda Giola, I think it was Linda Giola, sent me an email last night and said, you know that Zoe Deschanel, who, you know, that new girl, she's the new girl. Anyway, she's a Cricut fanatic, and she, Cricut, and Dreambox have put in a have done a giveaway. I don't know how long it's going to last, but if you like follow them on Instagram and blah blah, do all of that stuff, you can have all these different prizes and potentially win even a dream box, which are so astronomical. They're awesome, but they're astronomically priced. So that is going on. I did post it on my Facebook page. I will try to post it also on, let's see, YouTube and Patreon. So that is not run by me, just so that you know. I have nothing to do with it, and it's run by Cricut. But speaking of Cricut, I also heard, and I don't know if they've announced this yet, but if you have been using your Cricut starting this past Sunday, if you have been using your Cricut and cutting, it's important to mention the cutting part, because personally, I use my design space all the time. I don't often cut every single day, but I use design space every single day. So anyway, if you've been doing that, your name, because we know, or they know who you are in design space, your name is automatically entered into a giveaway. I don't know what it's called, and I wish I had more I don't know. I wish I had more information about it, but I don't. So I'm just going to leave it at that, that I'll mention it and maybe look out on the Cricut Facebook group. Maybe they have it, information about it there. But I just didn't want you to miss the opportunities that are out there. And then finally, my own giveaway, back to my own giveaway. In addition to doing my monthly giveaways, I am now doing a Cricut Cutie giveaway to patrons that support me on Patreon, or if they support me also through other means. So sometimes people will send me money, and then will I will include them in the giveaway. I'm giving away 2 of these prizes every month, but the only way that you can be a part of the giveaway is if you sign up to be a patron on my Patreon. Patreon is like a subscription service, although now you can pay yearly, where you can support anyone that's on there. So, for instance, I know that like there are other designers, or I think Melody is a patron or a Patreon service. I think it's still up there, Melody Lane Inspired. So if you get something from these daily videos, then, well, consider pledging even as low as $3 a month to support me, and then you'll be entered into the giveaway, and I'll be choosing them and announcing them this week. Okay, so we're doing pretty good here. Where are the rest of my, oh, they're over here. So we're doing pretty good here, and we're just taking these little tiny, see how far they go? It's not like it goes away real quick. Anyway, so there's that. The other thing is, starting next week, you won't be seeing me on Wednesdays and Thursdays. Remember, I'm doing that shift where I now will work Wednesday, Thursday. I now work Friday through Tuesday. So basically, I'm still doing 5 shows a week, but I wanted to reach some people outside of, and this is, by the way, this is just practice. We're just trying to see if we're going to reach more people, or people that otherwise can't make the show at 9 o'clock. And so we're going to try a couple of different time frames. I apologize if you are settled into a routine. I know how important routines are, because I raised a kid with autism. So routines are really, really important. And I don't change all that well, but I just want to tell you that I just want to try and reach more people. I just think this is probably the best group of Cricut crafters out there. And I just want to attract more of you so that you can make more friends, and there are different ways to do that. And one of them is, I read all the time, like, what's the best way to do this or that? And one of them said, know when your audience is on. And I feel like, having Monday through Friday, that I really wasn't reaching my audience. Now, I'd have people from other countries, or people from on the West Coast saying it's a little early, so I have to catch the replay. So that's why I'm doing it. And again, we don't have to keep it that way. We can do whatever we want, because that we're adults. All right, so I'm going to do this last one, and then I'm just going to talk about ribbon. So you see how it sort of moves? It sort of moves, and then I know that it's done there. And if you accidentally put it in the wrong place, you can reheat them and move it over a little bit. That's fine. You can do that. I'm just putting them on the little circles. Whoops. It's moving all around. That's the way I know it's ready. So, Ardeen, we're going to stay on Monday. So, starting Monday, it's going to start on Monday, which is 4th of July. We will have our 9 o'clock show. And Tuesday, whoops, I put on too small of a, you see at the tip here, I shouldn't use something that is plastic, but you see at the tip here, there's a divot. And there are different tips that go to this particular one. I just happen to have it outfitted with, I think it's an SS11. 10, maybe it's a 10 tip. And they tell you what size tip, So they tell you what size tip goes with which size rhinestone. There's a little bit of give to it, though. This is bigger than the SS10, but here we go. Now, again, this is like glitter. If you're not a glitter fan, if you're not a fan of glitter, then okay, don't do it. If you want to use something like these adhesive ones, that's pretty cool, or whatever else, some sort of embellishment that you might like. Now, once you get them all done, you're going to string them up. And this is the ribbon that I decided to use. Normally I use baker's twine, but because I can't find my needle that I use for knitting, I figured I would use a needle that I use for needlepoint. So these are needlepoint needles. They're round and sort of a blunt tip. And I have already uh, laced this through this one. I'm just going to pull that out. And we're going to go through and put in the ribbon. So I'm not doing this in order right now, but just bear with me. So I'm going to put it through and pull it around the back because you don't want it in the front. You don't want it in the front, or maybe you do, but there are holes on either side. However, I have noticed that the holes are really tiny. So before you go ahead and start doing this, or maybe while you're doing it, what I would suggest is you grab, if I can find it, you grab yourself a weeding tool or something. I had a, where did it go? Did my son steal it? Oh man, I had this awesome tool that I was going to show you, but I can't even find a weeding tool here around here. No. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. I'm always blaming my son for things going missing because he always used to take stuff from. Anyway, this was the Cricut thing that I got, and it is. I think it was in part of the deluxe weeding tool or whatever. And I just took it and popped it out through this way, the holes. And that made them all standard. If you want, you can flip it around and take these little divots out or whatever. Those are called chads, I think. Anyway, so when you do this, make sure you do it from the front down. This one I did not, and it looks rather messy. So before you go and string these up with your ribbons, you will need to make sure that these are all nicely holed. And the other thing too is if you have a hole punch and you want to just go over and put hole punch, nobody's going to fault you for that, you know. And I think there was one, I don't know if it was the TH or something, that didn't have one of the holes. So this is just so that you have a nice looking banner. So I'm going to keep working on my banner, and I will see you all tomorrow for our next Cricut chat. What are we doing tomorrow? Oh, we are making rosettes because I love rosettes. And I decided we need to have patriotic rosettes. This could also be done for Canada Day because they also do it, but they might have to change this. So we're going to be making these adorable paper rosettes. They're really small. And we're going to put pins on them so that we can wear them at the barbecue or give them out at the fireworks display. So we're doing this tomorrow. Then on Thursday, we are doing Canada Day. We're doing for our Canadian friends a hat using infusible ink, and then also we'll be doing infusible ink on cotton, which is going to be fun because I've never done it before, but I'm told from Shirley that this is a very simple procedure. So we're going to be doing all that for the rest of the week. Yeah. Oh, okay. What are the weekend hours for class? I'm sorry. So on Monday and Tuesday at 9:00. Friday is going to be at around 5:00. I want to find the sweet spot there, like maybe 6:00. I haven't decided. Saturday, we're going to have a late afternoon, somewhere after 2:00. And then on Sunday, we will be going downtown to our friends at Create and Escape to do something with them, and that's at 10:00. Okay, so it's Monday 9, Tuesday 9, Friday 4. Saturday 2-ish, and Sunday 10. So we're just trying to hit all different people and see if that works. And if it doesn't work, we'll go back to the 9 o'clock Friday. No skin off our nose, right? We can do change. We can do hard things. And this for me is hard, and I totally get it if it's hard for you too. Anyway, thanks so much for coming today, and I hope you try this out and have a look at the file at least, and make sure you get your name in to those contests, because I think that those are really fun contests, and want to see you guys win. So take care. Talk to you later.